I miss being able to dodge my friends' destination weddings in Italy. There's nothing worse than being asked to spend the equivalent of a motorbike on some sort of boat-based farce in Sorrento. And I always used to really enjoy saying, oh no, I can't afford it. Now that we're getting married in Brunton and I have to go to that alleged beach. It's made of rocks, Andy. If your sandcastle is an actual castle, that's not a beach.
I tell you what, I miss free will. That was fun. Remember that? I mean, was it illusion all the time? Who cares? It felt fun. I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a heads or tails, best of 5 to see if you have to go to the gym, and then the rest of 7, the rest of 5. Now it's crypto. All the romance is there. Heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life and not just a hope for your new partner that you could not happily find out information the government has.
This needs people like you to fight for it. How about it?
Are you saying you're in DedSec? Because if so, I have a proposition for you. I want to get revenge on the gangster that double-crossed me.
If you're looking for a gun for hire, look somewhere else.
Please, violence is so undignified. I'm a car thief, or rather, I used to be. The man was my employer. One time, we were after this incredible supercar and things went bad. He took his prize and left us for dead. Unfortunately for him, I'm not so easy to kill, and I have my eyes set on that ill-gotten car of his. You do this, and I'll make it worth your while. That sounded bad, but you know what I mean.
This'll be good.
Our friend sent us the location of the car. Passing it on to you now.
Surprised that Bagley became so popular. It's funny, useful, fast. It's a great companion and really just makes life so much easier. I mean, when you look back at all the service AIs that used to exist, they just can't compete. When you ask Bagley anything, there's a quick answer and loads of information available to you. One day, I let Bagley answer all of my messages for a whole 24 hours.
Gosh.
All units, I repeat, they pass through the checkpoints. We have reports of a hostile in your area.
Received. Mobilizing now.
Bagley pretty much gets everything right first time.
The car should be on site here. Try to get it out in one piece.
Fine, I'm on it.
Can anyone see the suspect? Received. Returning to HQ. Over.
I prefer not to talk about that kind of information. That's how do they...
Eyes up, no man.
Oh, Come on, seriously?
Interesting.
Waste of time.
Just calm down. There's no point, no? Right.
That will be the shimmering willy compensator there.
Sure thing, okay. Sure. No, what I mean... Right. No, it sounds right now.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Some fuckers hacked us. Lockdown.
Run a search! Find the toss pots. Drone, get to searching.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Look, that's not on. Lock it down.
It will be okay. Everything will be okay. Search everywhere. Hey, drone, run a search.
Okay.
Searching for suspect.
Lock it down. Some techers fucking around. I'm gonna get on them.
Okay. I see.
Sweep the area.
You can't walk through the city without a sorry state.
What are you looking at? Sounds good. Stop resist. Yes, that's spot on. All right. Down. Bro, look around here. It's clear. Moving on. Okay. I see. Yeah, no, it sounds good. Someone's shooting.
Here we go.
Yeah, I There's an intruder. Lock it all down.
Civilians safe.
Okay. God damn! Well, I've survived a lot worse than this.
Got the vehicle. Now what?
Quite the prize, isn't it? Now, be a dear and drive it into the Thames.
What?
What, you thought I wanted to keep it? No, it's far too tacky for my tastes. I just wanted to make a statement. I always get what I'm owed. Drown it.
And then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those and kind of challenge the mainstream newspapers, TV stations, radios, and make sure people were questioning the validity and truth of the information they were receiving. So whilst there was the digital afforded more fake information, it also makes us suspicious and skeptical of information and makes us question the information we're getting. And I think in pre-crisis Britain it might not have seemed great at the time, but there was something positive about that there was a lot of distrust in the media and in the different kinds of truths that are being told. Whereas now, I think you're seeing a return to a more traditional and older, pre-digital sense, actually, people just trusting what they're told, and that's why we have to be here with radio stations like this to challenge those conceptions. Most citizens feel pretty hopeless, I think, and unable to fight back against these kind of huge mainstream corporations that simply entrench and support the ideals and ideologies of the state. It can seem very hopeless indeed, but I think, you know, the fact that you're out there listening, we're in here talking, shows that there is still space to combat these false claims and disinformation that's being sold to us, and that it's never possible really to completely shut down. Despite all the technologies that they have at their disposal and all the financial and corporate power and all the physical power, it's never quite possible to shut down people's desire to get to the truth and fight for their own ideologies and values. And you know, we're out here starting that task, so don't give up hope.
You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. We'll be back soon with more of what you'll never hear on the channel. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep resisting. This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that they could be sorted with
Took care of it.
I'm in your debt.
DedSec's always looking for more people. You interested?
Consider me in.
Stay still. I'm gonna pat you down. Unnecessary. Why are you still in my face? I'm not asking again. Come on. I'm done with you. You asked for it.
Urgent call. Possible hostile at your location. Received. Watching for suspect.
Let's get an ambulance for this civilian. Over. Control, we are still on the suspect. Over.
Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds of
Wrong turn.
Black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kelly run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hasani isn't even around to pretend to care.
Anyone have visual?
How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes in.
Right, I'm putting a stop to this. Units
Here's
fall back.
veteran political
Over.
reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? The first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes started coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer treatment. Now, that stuff, it has a short half-life. Technetium used to save hundreds of thousands of lives just by screening for cancer, let alone testing for cancer. But that stuff has a half-life of 66 hours. As soon as those rules went up, there was just no time to bring it into the country, and that is when people started dying. And then the medicines. The thing is, there's loads of medicines that you just can't stockpile. There was a moment before it took place when actually there was something to try and stockpile some of the medicines. There were some things that could be done. For a lot of it, there was simply nothing that could be done. We had a major problem with drugs for schizophrenia. So we saw such an uptick in the kind of attacks that we saw on the street and people suffering on their own because they didn't have the mental health drugs, because those drugs simply couldn't be stockpiled. We eventually found the same thing with foods that weren't produced in the UK. And the trouble with the UK was we don't produce our own food. We never have. Hundreds of years, we produce under half of our own food. So as soon as those rules were out, we started having significant material problems. And Britain always told itself it had this national myth, right, that it would, because it got through the war, that it could go through any kind of hardship. I mean, that wasn't really the case. Actually, people during the war were far more frightened than some of this historical stuff comes out. Now, what did we see? People don't want to go through that stuff. They were desperate for the things that they had before, and they were scared. So they went to the black market.
Auto drive now enabled.
Where did the growth of Clan Kelly come from? It came from people wanting the things that they could previously get legitimately and could now only get through the black market, funneling funds towards criminality. And from there, we got to the situation we have now of this bit of war between criminals and security that seems to dominate what's going on out there on the streets.
Auto drive now disabled.
Nothing shakes people's faith in capitalism quite as much as when capitalism fails to deliver. Here's underground writer and analyst Alfie, The Politics of Poverty.
I think what we've come to now is a realization that capitalism has essentially failed. One key promise of capitalism that it makes to its citizens.
Are you ready to do your part and take back the city?
Are you a part of DedSec? Perhaps you could help me.
If I was, I wouldn't go around telling people. Now, what's going on?
Those Clan Kelly beasts need to be brought to heel. They got my niece hooked on drugs and collected the debt. Snatched her right out of her home.
That's rough.
I know the two bigwigs responsible, but the coppers won't do a thing.
Same shit, different city. Forget the cops. We'll handle Clan Kelly.
Let's give it a go. I never forget a favor. Help me and I'll help you however I can.
I've got coordinates for the two suspects. Scrape their optic data. That should give us more than enough to incriminate them.
Got it.
What we need. So the excuse that there's simply not enough to go around is... justification for maintaining a kind of power of the 1% and leaving the rest of us short.
So if you're starving hungry tonight, if your parents can't get their medicine and your brothers and sisters have to steal to eat, remember, it's all for the good of our people. Or Clan Kelly, or someone, just not us. But that's going to change. You've been listening to Buccaneer with me, Tash. Keep spreading the word.
Auto drive now enabled.
There's enough of everything out there for all of us. We just need the guts to take it back.
When you think of your dream home, do you picture peace and quiet? With solar power, grey water recycling and green walls, you'll get the freshness of countryside here in the heart of the city. We know you think green, you act green. So, when the doors close, you've earned the right to put other people's problems behind you. E-Flats. We make your apartment a showroom for your conscience.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. But don't worry, we're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organisation that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them.
Auto drive now disabled.
Political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation. And the only meaning that you will find in that is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? A nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does, it's just a myth. But that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare. It's exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany. There were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
We're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data, how that's been used and manipulated, and what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. for example, if we examine what actually happened, you know, there's a company that's really very interested.
One of the gangsters whose optic data we're looking to scrape is nearby.
What was that?
Oi, come over here a sec.
What do you want? It's time to work, not talk.
I was just wondering, like, what's inside this thing?
Peace off. This not for someone like you to know.
Right, relax. Just curious. Oh, God, piss off. Ugh.
That's one criminal scraped. Now let's see about their friend. That's the target. Should be hackable.
Think I heard something. I can take you.
Most of their optics are squeaky clean. They're smart.
Shit.
But I'm about 8.61 million times smarter, give or take an order of magnitude. I managed to trace their encrypted comms channel back to a remote server.
Probably a good place to start looking.
right?
No driver, huh? Better not crash.
A lot of traditional money was converted to crypto, and it really shook up the financial sector.
Can you remember when they first introduced crypto cash
Auto drive now
That
enabled.
was really sneaky. It was a classic startup behaviour. They just installed them everywhere. No consultation with the government, no approval or anything. But people immediately started to use them.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of how Bloom put out the Optic. They just made it free and flooded the streets with these devices. Suddenly everyone had them.
If there's this great option of tech, people are just going to start using it, no matter the cost.
Parliament actually tried to put a stop to the cash points, but people were using them so much already. There was outrage. I mean, some parts of London were already using crypto as their primary currency by then.
And now, apparently, or at least in theory, crypto is illegal.
Yeah, in May this year, economists found that crypto was being traded more than the pound, and banks were not happy. They basically forced the government to ban cryptocurrency in a last-ditch effort to save the pound.
But it's not like that's worked. People are still using crypto, and it's been pushed further, deeper underground. Things used to work fine with crypto, and it was just a peer-to-peer sharing economy-style system. Now it's all on the dark web and wrapped up again in organised crime.
Yeah, if you want to make something thrive on the black market, just make it illegal. Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again.
Not a broken glass.
Reminder, the criminals we're investigating have a server at this location.
Let's make things interesting.
That's some spooky shit, bruv. Shut it down.
All right, let's go.
Wheels are dodgy. Let's find whoever's behind this.
Looks clear. Gonna check over there. We need to find that fucker. Not here. Moving on. No one. I'll look this way.
Hold up. You hear that? Yep.
That's the target. Should be hackable. Transfer complete.
Nah, that don't look right. We need a lockdown.
Run a check on that vehicle.
This fucker could be anywhere. Nothing much here.
If you think you're escaping, you've got shit for brains.
Nothing here, move on. Yo, cover me, I'm on the hunt.
We just sent you all the evidence you were after, and more. Even a broken police force like London should be able to do something with that.
I'm impressed.
Well, if you want to repay us, DedSec's always looking for quality people.
Right. Count me in.
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so.
Objective voice of objection for a post objection. Hello, Buxters. Welcome to The Bug, the comedy show that holds up the Medusa of satire to the already immovably concrete face of modern Britain. I'm Andy. I bench 480, and I can crack a tree in half just by looking at it. Can I? Well, what is reality anymore? Anyway. Alice, what do you bench?
I bench body weights.
Right.
Not my body weight.
Okay.
Body weight of a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give that kind of detail. Just
Very
body weight.
impressive. People look at me and go, where did you get that baby?
Yeah. You are listening to The Bug.
In this week's Truth News, according to an official poll, 98% of London...
The fuck do you want? Thought I made it clear I don't want anything to do with you lot. Easy, easy. Shit, sorry. Thought you were one of them Albion pigs. They've been on my arse all day. Can't shake them. Oi, chill, mate. Maybe we can help. Take a deep breath, then tell me what's wrong. I'm flagged every time I go through one of these checkpoints. It's bullshit, mate. I'm squeaky clean. You can trust me on this. I think someone's making false reports against me in CTOS. Could be. Got any enemies? Folks with grudges? Well, a lot of people, actually. You could say I've pissed off my fair share. That's why I need you lot. Can you figure out who's behind it? You help me with this, and I'll do whatever you want. I'll repay my debts. Right. I'll set things in motion. What do I do?
We have a CTOS backdoor already, but all the reports are anonymized. If you want to know who's targeting our friend, get me a hard line into a government server.
Right, I'll get you that data. Send me the coordinates.
I'm here.
The server is there somewhere. Once you're hooked up, we can see exactly where the false reports are coming from.
All right. I'm in the system.
The anonymous reports on our friend read like a terrorist shopping list. Van rental, bulk fertilizer purchase, bulk petrol purchase.
Sounds like someone's trying to build a car bomb.
Yes, only it can't have been him. The timestamps on these reports don't match our GPS tracking. Someone out there must be about to launch an attack, and they want him to take the fall.
Bloody hell! Hasn't this city been through enough shit already? We can't let that bomb go off, Bagley. Do your thing. Find it.
I traced the IP back to a known Clan Kelly hideout. That's where we'll find our culprits.
I trust these polls as much as I trust someone recommending a movie that they watched during a breakup. Your judgment is impaired, Sally. I'll make my own decisions.
I trust those polls as much as I would trust Mary Kelly if she came up to me and said, "Congratulations, Andy, you've just won a free holiday to the south of France in the back of this windowless van."
I think official polls are like the unsolicited dick pics that the government provides us. I didn't ask for it, I don't believe it, it's on an angle, you've artificially inflated it ahead of time, and anyone that falls for one deserves all the disappointment of trying to match it to reality. These polls are absolute rubbish, Andy. I read one the other day that said...
Need more cheeky bastards like you on the crew. People willing to get their hands dirty. Oh, yes. Been waiting my whole damn life to kick some bollocks. Get in, my son.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've got a vehicle with a Wi-Fi bomb detonator somewhere on the premises. Get me a link up and I can disable it.
Yeah, I got it.
There's the bomb.
disgusting.
Bagley, do your thing.
Disarming it now.
Your head will be banging, but at least you're not dead.
Give yourself up. Save me this time. That's it. I'm moving up.
Done. The bomb's dead. The only way it's exploding is if it's hit with another, larger bomb.
Not such a useless bunch after all.
Now get out of there so we can contact our friend.
Good instincts. Kelly dogs had you pinned as the culprit for their next car bombing. We got to them in time.
You serious? Bloody hell. I owe you.
DedSec's always looking for gutsy people. You'd fit right in. Wanna join?
You kidding? Hell yeah.
It's our security.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors. This is The Bug, and on today's show, Alice and I will be looking at the big questions, such as, are we less than 2 years away from being able to turn a sausage back into a live pig? Did we actually need polar bears anyway? What do they really do? If I put optic on my dog... I train it to take itself for a walk and do my shopping on the way home. And is tennis real? But first... it's a question that no one's really addressed of late. London is going to be safer than ever, Alice. SIRS is installing thousands of additional CCTV cameras. So nice they're still looking out for us after all these years.
Yeah, it puts a lot of fun into my life now. I get to play this role-play game where I pretend to know my loved ones better than some twat behind a screen in the SIRS headquarters.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't complain. I mean, SIRS really just stepping into the vacancy left when it became patently obvious that God had retired. We think that the similarities, omnipresent, omniscient, judgmental, stripping away your finances and freedoms, dishing out random punishments, peas in a pod. All it needs to do, sir, is ban me from eating something. What's it going to be this time? Not bacon again, please. Please, not bacon. Courgettes, ban courgette. I can take you banning courgettes. I'm happy with it.
Makes me feel important knowing that I'm being watched with everything I do, Andy.
Well, it's just nice, reassuring, isn't it? It's like having an extra aunt.
This is the aunt that gets drunk at Christmas and vomits in the kiddie pool, right?
Get that on.
This is the bug on the Buccaneer. Let's move on now to sport. Well, the closest thing we have to sport now, riots. I mean, riots are my favourite sport now, Alice, ever since they turned the Oval from a cricket ground into the immigration processing centre. And yeah, rioting is a great sport. I mean, it's fun for all the families. Guaranteed that.
Move along, move along.
Urgent call. Possible hostile at your location.
Got the vehicle. What next?
I can confirm that the onboard hard drive contains all the data our friend could need. Pushing you a suitable drop-off point.
Heading there now.
Control, we are unsighted of suspects. Over.
Auto drive now enabled.
Search units disengage. This search is pointless.
Auto drive now disabled.
Our activist friend has come to collect the vehicle.
He and I need to chat.
Shit, man! When I heard your AI tell me to expect a data delivery, this is not what I expected.
Bagley's an odd one, but you get used to it. You wanted intel on Albion, right? Well, you'll have plenty on this thing's hard drive.
Fucking too right! With this data, we can stay ahead of all Albion assholes. If you want my help ever, you only have to ask.
DedSec's always looking for gutsy people. You'd fit right in. Wanna join?
Okay, yes, let's do it.